Hey family, it's Brother Ra's son, Ro, back at the Galactic Studio with the Akashic Records, unlocking the secrets, universal knowledge, and nature of the Akasha, including prayer, guided meditation, and Akashic tarot readings. We left off on part 7, how to access and read your Akashic records. We got as far as the teachers, because we left off where it was the role of the Lords, Masters, teachers, and loved ones. So now we're back at the teachers. The teachers are a bit different from the Masters and the Lords. When it comes to their prior history, it is usually claimed that they have been normal human beings in other lives before they chose to help others' souls reach their divine idea. As elaborated on in the previous point, the teachers are called upon by the masters based on your needs. So this means you can have different teachers each time you open your records. Teachers are lesson specific, meaning that once you learn the lesson, they will leave, and the other teachers will take their place to teach you a new lesson. The teachers' identities when they were alive are a subject of debate, as some experts believe that they were ordinary people who just happened to have great spiritual power, while others believe that they were influential figures. Regardless of those opposing opinions, the teachers prefer to keep their identity a secret because they believe that this information is irrelevant to your soul's journey to growth. The loved ones were certainly regular people once. Not only that, but they were also tied to you before their death. Your loved ones might be deceased relatives, friends, or even acquaintances. It does not matter how brief your relationship was with them when they were alive. You must know that your loved ones intentionally chose to guide your journey. Similarities to how the teachers act. The loved ones also think it's better not to uncover their true identity. However, they may do so if you think it can be beneficial during your specific reading. Your loved ones are not usually present all at once. They take turns to support you during every reading. A guide to how you can read your records. Understanding the pathway prayers and the role of the Lords, Masters, and Teachers, and loved ones. It is finally the right time to access your records and take control of your destiny. Keep in mind that given the right preparation, the process of reading your records should be easy. To make sure that you can access your records currently, follow the next few steps. Finding the right place. As you advance, you will be able to access your records anywhere, anytime. Yet for the purpose of this chapter, we are assuming that it is your first time opening the Akashic records. Thus, this will require finding a quiet place where you can concentrate It does not matter whether the place is indoors or outdoors. If it is offered you a sense of privacy, you can also burn some incense to set the mood and help you relax. If you have any pets or children, make sure that they cannot disturb you during the reading session. Moreover, you can play some classical music if you prefer, not to stay in a completely quiet area. Meditating. This step is crucial if you want to get an accurate Akashic reading. Meditating is a great way of centering and grounding yourself. When you enter the Akashic realm, you want to be free of your daily worries. And to achieve this, you need to keep your mind blank. For some people, it may prove hard to just pull the plug and relax. Nonetheless, by practicing meditation for a few minutes before each session, you can reach a state of inner nirvana that will help you communicate well with your masters, teachers, and loved ones. Reading the prayer. The pathway prayer creates a bridge through which you can reach the Akashic realm. When reading the open prayer, try to read the first and last paragraph out loud. When the records are finally open, do not ask too many questions at once, as it is your first time to read the Akashic records. You must get a feel of the Akashic realm, which means you should not ask any question at first. Just try to take in as much as you can. Then close the records after 15 minutes. Focusing on a question, after you get a feel of what the Akashic records have to offer, you can reopen them after 10 minutes or so. Now, it is the right time to ask the question. As explained previously, steer away from any yes or no questions and direct requests for advice. Also, you need to focus on one question at a time, because you have past, present, and future records. You must decide which part of the eternal timeline you want to look at. Having the clarity is important if you want a seamless reading. Remember, your Akashic records are always present, so do not worry if you cannot collect your thoughts now. You can just return to them later when you have more clarity on the question you want to ask. Grounding yourself. After every reading, your consciousness shifts when you access the Akashic records. You may think of it as a trance or of some sort. Therefore, it is vital that you return to your normal state of consciousness when you close the records. To come back to yourself and resume your day, you need to find an activity that requires your full attention. Something that you cannot do mindlessly. You can do some stretches or exercise, cook, talk to a friend, or play with your pet. Under no circumstances should you skip this step. Grounding is extremely important part of every reading session. Practicing your new talent. Yes, accessing the Akashic records is a talent. Everyone is born with an innate ability to access their records, but only those who practice enough can get a correct reading every time. For this reason, You need to open your Akashic records as often as you can, especially during the first month. You can also practice your new ability by reading other people's records, which we'll talk about in detail in the next part. In any case, do not ignore your Akashic records for too long, as you need to get used to the shift of consciousness. The process requires every time. Keeping a journal, because you will learn many things during your time in the Akashic realm. You need to document your experience in detail. Keeping a journal is a great way of doing so. Not only will your journal allow you to describe your experience in that realm, but will also help you to keep track of all the feelings you may have. Furthermore, you can jot down the answers, future possibilities, and the guidance you receive during your reading. Also, feel free to write down any other questions that you want to ask during the next session. This will help you identify the past records that you need to be rewriting, the current patterns you want to change, and the future possibilities that you want to either avoid or make use of. And that concludes this part of how to access and read your Akashic records. But I can definitely identify with that emotional body of energy that comes through meditation and vibrating on a high frequency. As you look into your records, don't be afraid of what you're going to find. The key is to keep moving forward. The key is to get in touch with your soul and its soul lessons. It's our entry point. Because your soul is very important. As I tell people, we signed a soul contract when we came here. We made agreements with our parents. But part of this process was that we had to forget who we were as we descended here. Today it's about remembering when we remove the drugs and the alcohol from our system and certain byproducts, and we start vibrating off fruits and vegetables. We're capable of reaching a higher self. We're capable of aligning ourselves with the universe and going in and asking questions so we can avoid that karma in our future. Oh yeah, it's Brother Rasan Haru tapping out. We'll be coming back with the next part. And the next part talks about readings for others. The difference between reading your Akashic records and reading someone else's. We're going to tap into that secret knowledge on the next go round. Peace and love and light to everyone. And I thank Source for everything. And my ancestors. And my spirit guides. Don't get me excited. Alright, peace.